Hey, so what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, bros and hoes, people of all ages? It's your boy, Big Mac, and today I want to talk to you guys about a commentary topic which is very close and very personal to me. And I remember speaking about it about 10 months ago on my old channel, which was basically my initial diagnosis and my initial thoughts and reactions to the way that life would be. But I've not really spoken about my bowel disease that I suffer from, which personally is ulcerative colitis, ever since. And I really wanted to talk to you guys about it and make a vocal video on it. Now, I remember, or I'm quite known to actually express my views of IBD and ulcerative colitis through my own personal Facebook and also on Twitter, which, if you don't already follow, my link is in the description. But I've never really spoken about it since on my YouTube, and it was something that I wanted to kind of talk to people about in the form of videos, to kind of not only educate but also use it as a somewhat vlog type style of commentary to talk personally about how IBD is affected me and affected my lifestyle. But I neglected it, so I'm going to talk to you guys about it today on how it's personally affected me, and maybe in a few videos some other time talk about how it is and what kind of treatments you go through, and kind of educate maybe the non-IBD sufferer, or maybe even just a new sufferer that has just started or just been recently diagnosed with it. So without further ado, let's begin. So personally, I've been very lucky on how I've physically suffered bowel disease. I know for a fact that I have probably been very lucky in some aspects, that I very rarely have off days physically on in regards to my stomach. And obviously my obviously don't really want to crudely put it, but obviously the way that I need to go to the toilet very often, I very rarely have them days. And it seems that ever since when I was back at Game, which was my old employer, which I got let off, unfortunately. I never did kind of talk about it. I did get let off after the Christmas period. I wasn't kept on, but I have got no hatred against them. I was quite lucky that with the social interaction and the whole kind of having to do something, having to work, and kind of it took my mind off IBD and off needing to go to the toilet, which it seems weird that is kind of a psychological trick towards or towards like not making me need to have to suffer from the physical symptoms. It somewhat relieved them whilst I was at work, but that doesn't mean that it's always going to be like that. Now, as I said, personally I haven't suffered that much physically. I've not had to have any surgeries, which I'm hoping will continue for at least a few more years. I don't particularly like the whole surgery scenario, talking of, you know, Holby City, Casualty. You see them sorts of soaps and them sorts of TV programs, and it's always nasty to see. And I honestly don't think that I would love to be in surgery, and I don't think anyone likes to be in surgery, but I don't think I'd be able to personally cope with it. However, I am still on the medications that I was on back in April of last year. Now, the medications itself are, I personally believe that the medications are somewhat more painful towards myself than what the actual disease is. And I'll tell you this, or I'll tell you my reasoning behind this. Now, I am treated mainly on a dose of steroids, medical steroids known as prednisolone. Now, if anyone suffers from bowel disease, they would know that or any autoimmune disease, in fact, mainly are covered by prednisolone. It's a standard steroid used over here in the UK, and I've had really bad experiences with prednisolone. Prednisolone, obviously being a steroid, can cause quite nasty extreme mood swings. That's the main one that I suffered from, and with tied in with like the obvious post-traumatic stress that I suffered when I was back when I was 17, when I got first diagnosed with my first illness. It can cause quite nasty effects with me. I can become very reclused. I can become quite agitated. I can become very angry with myself, and obviously I can also become very depressed very rapidly in a mood swing. I'm talking to you guys quite happily now, and within an hour from now, say, I could be quite I could feel quite alone, and I could feel quite down and miserable and depressed. And that's the horrible thing that I've always believed in the diseases that I suffer from. I've always believed that I can physically cope with diseases and I can physically cope with pain. I've always been blessed with a strong pain threshold of having a high pain tolerance, but I've never been able to mentally cope with mental pressures such as depression and such as post-traumatic stress disorder. It's something that I wish I could kind of alleviate and kind of be able to work around, but it's something that does affect me personally. Now, I know that there are people out there that will say that, well, then why are you talking about the physical sides of IBD? And, you know, I can understand that. However, just because it's a bowel disease doesn't mean that it can only affect a person physically. It can affect people in different ways. It always will, and it always has affected people in different ways. I know people through having this bowel disease myself, through the amazing power of the internet, meeting people through social media platforms such as Facebook, such as Twitter, and such as trends like Get Your Belly Out. Honorable mention right there. I've met some of the most amazing people through that social media trend, and I can't thank people enough for the support and the whole notion of feeling welcomed and feeling somewhat you know, as if you're not alone, you're not isolated in the fight that you have with bowel disease. And I appreciate that fact, and I appreciate that feeling of being a part of something now. But that's all I've got to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up. I will put some links down in the description down below of maybe some information, and even a link to the Get Your Belly Out social media trend that I'm part of. And I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone that has helped me, no matter whether you're a viewer, people that I know through YouTube, or even maybe people that I know through the social media movement. I do appreciate every single one of you that has helped me through the down days, through the bad days, not necessarily even knowing what's actually wrong. You've just been maybe a person just to talk to, and I appreciate every single one of you for that. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and thanks for watching.